Hello friends, it has been a good while since I've been in front of a camera. You may notice a very different background than normal. I am finally able to film in front of my bookshelves, like your typical booktuber. But that's because we have recently moved. So I knew that this move was coming, and so the last two videos you've gotten from me were pre-filmed on the same day, probably, I don't know, 6 weeks or so ago, so that I could get that out for you, but not have to worry about, filming and finding time to do all that while packing and having yard sales and moving and unpacking and settling in. But we've been here in our new house 2, maybe 3 weeks. I'm not even sure what today's date is, probably closer to 3 weeks. And so we're finally all kind of settled in and good to go. So I can start filming again, which is good. And it's going to be a short video, as my TBRs are always short. So we're really just going to pop on here and talk about the books I plan on reading in July. Alright, I'm going to start with the book I'm going to be reading for Summerween this year, which takes place in July. It's a week-long readathon that happens every July that focuses on Halloween and the coming of Halloween and fall and all of that. And once again, I'm able to participate in it because I was able to fit all the reading prompts to cover one book in this 1 week readathon, which is the only way it ever works for me. So there are 5 prompts, but 3 prompts that are specifically go towards you picking what book you're reading. So I may be stretching some of these prompts a bit, but it'll work. So for Summerween, I'm going to be reading the book Death Overdue by Allison Brook. And it covers the prompts: read a book with Halloween covers. Nope. Read a book with Halloween colors on the cover. So it has that. It has purple, orange, black, all very Halloween-y books, colors. Read a book with haunt in the title. So this one is stretching it a little bit. It's not actually in the title of the book, but it's part of a cozy mystery series called The Haunted Library or Haunted Bookshop, something like that. So I'm going to count it. And then the last one it kind of covers, which is probably even more of a stretch, is to read a slasher. And since this is a murder mystery, I'm going to count it as a slasher because there's somebody who was, I think, bludgeoned to death, which is kind of gory and would fit into a slasher. Though this isn't going to be a scary book by any means. It is a, fun little cozy mystery. So, and as always, to make sure I'm reading books that I own, I'm picking some books off my shelves. I haven't really been reading a lot the last 2 months. I may have finished 2 books over the last 2 months. So I wanted to pick out some books that were easy reads and or short reads. So I just went through all the books I have and I just kind of picked out some of the shorter books that I have to help me maybe come out of this reading slump a little bit. Let me read a short book, then give me that boost of, yes, I finished a book. I want to move on to another one. So for these, I did pick a middle grade because it's a short middle grade and they're always easy to read, which has already been on my TBR before for middle grade March, but I never got to it. And that is The Whispers by Greg Howard. In this one, we follow a little boy whose mom has gone missing. And in their town, they have this rumor of these creatures, I guess, or beings called the Whispers that live out in the wood. And they are supposed to be able to grant you your wishes when you ask them for it, or if you leave them a tribute or something along those lines. And so we have a little boy who he and a friend go on a camping trip in order to find these whispers so that he can ask them to bring his mom back home. I really loved that cover, and I really wanted to get to it back in March, but it just didn't happen. So we're going to try it this month. And then a very short little book is The Ballad of Black Tom by LaValle. I don't know too much about this one. All I know is I think it might be a bit of a mystery, but we have Tom, who is, I'm not sure if he's a thief, but I know he's somehow a collector or a finder of these magical items. And this one, I believe, involves either a magical book or maybe a magical book shop. I think it's a magical book, but I honestly don't know anything else about it. But it is nice and short, so I'm going to try and read it this month. For whatever reason, I don't gravitate heavily towards fantasy during the summer months. I don't know, just fantasy seems something you would want to bundle up and read on cooler, winter and fall days. So during summer, I kind of always lean towards my non-fantasy books a little bit more. And one of them that really caught my eye or my attention and wanting to read is Light Changes Everything by Nancy E. Turner. So back in, I think it was 2020, I read another book by this author called These Is My Words. And that was probably one of my favorite books of that entire year. I loved it. That particular one was written as diary entries following a young girl throughout her life named Sarah. In I don't know, like the mid to late 1800s in the Arizona territory, and we just followed her life. And this book, while not written as diary entries, follows Sarah's daughter. That's really all I know about this, is that it's in the same world, it's in the same family, and I really enjoyed the other one, so I really want to try this one as well. I don't know if I'll like it as much because it's written as a novel and not as diary entries, which may have something to do with why I love the other one so much, because I do really enjoy books written as letters or journal entries and things like that. But I am curious to see if I'm going to like this one as much as I liked the other one. So, and then of course we have the Story Continued book club, which there will be a book picked, but as time of me filming it right now, it has not been chosen for July, so I don't know what that will be. But if it is something that interests me, I will of course add it to this TBR as well. I just don't know what that will be yet. Alright, and those are all the books I plan on reading in July. As always, I thank you so much for being here, and I hope that means I see you soon.